Springfield City Clerk is pushing back tonight against accusations from a city councilor who says she failed to disclose a conflict of interest. That councilor is calling for an outside review, and last night that issue spilled into the city council chambers, where a push to bring in independent outside legal counsel ended in a failed vote. Western Mass News reporter Addie Patterson joins us live in studio tonight with the details. Addie, what can you tell us about this?
Yeah, Amanda, in last night's Springfield City Council meeting, councilors debated whether to even discuss the matter in public before voting down a request for outside counsel. Councilors took up item 37, a request to hire independent outside legal counsel tied to a proposed $100,000 appropriation connected to the New North Citizens Council and other related organizations. But before they could get into the details, the city law department pushed to move the discussion into executive session, warning it could impact an individual's reputation. The law department didn't name anyone on the record, but Councilor Justin Hurst has publicly tied his concerns to City Clerk Gladys Olia Lopez. Hurst, who introduced the item, pushed back, arguing the council shouldn't take it behind closed doors and said the public deserved to hear the discussion.
I disagree with the idea that we have to take this up in executive session. I told you before, when they came and put this item on the agenda, they consented to us having a very discussion about every issue related to that item as a body. And so, no, you don't get to hide and run for cover now.
After debate, councilors took a roll call vote and item 37 failed, meaning outside counsel was not approved. Oyola Lopez's attorney shared a statement with Western Mass News calling Hurst's allegations retaliatory. He points out that Oyola Lopez served as a witness and mandatory reporter involving Hurst's conduct during the 2023 election and says, quote, Mr. Hurst has not subjected other city officials to similar public scrutiny regarding potential conflicts of interest, despite the fact that numerous public officials have served on nonprofit boards or in leadership roles for organizations receiving municipal funding. Oyola Lopez's attorney also saying that his client was advised there was no conflict of interest to disclose related to her work with the New North Citizens Council. Reporting live in studio, Addie Patterson, Western Mass News.